This is part 2 of our water test. And now we're going to be testing spring water, locally sourced and distilled water. As you can see, the spring water is starting to change colour. It looks like the spring water is going a blue colour, which means there's bacteria, viruses and chemical fertiliser. As you can see now, the filter water is starting to go yellow, which means there's fluoride and organic matter. For our next test, we're doing Buxton Still bottled water against the distilled water. We've got some change of colour. Looks like we've got white, which means there is lead, zinc, mercury and organic matter. And also the green colour is showing us arsenic, mercury, lead and copper. And on our next test we're using Pennine Valley bottled water against the distilled water. And as you can see already, looks like we're getting some blue and possibly some white. Blue means bacteria, virus and chemical fertiliser, and white is lead, zinc and mercury. For our next test we're using Northwest water, which has been boiled in a kettle against the distilled water. And as you can see, we're having a change of colour already, which means there's lead, zinc and mercury in organic. And now there's a bit of blue coming along, which means there's bacteria, virus and chemical fertilisers detected. For our next test we're using tap water, Northwest tap water, and looking at that against distilled water. And as you can see, we've got a change of colour already, which means it's white, which is lead, zinc and mercury and inorganic materials. Now we're getting some yellow showing, which means there's fluoride and organic matter present. And this is Northwest water that's been microwaved against the distilled water. Definitely starting to see a bit of yellow, which means there's fluoride and organic matter present. Definitely green showing up now, which means there's arsenic, mercury, lead and copper present. On our next test we've got United Utilities Northwest water filtered from the tap, again against the distilled. And you can start to see some changes at the top. Looks like it's quite white, so that means there's lead, zinc, mercury and inorganic material. We've got some yellow coming in now, which means there's fluoride and organic matter present.
One.
And next we have United Utilities Northwest Water in a Britex filter kettle against the distilled water. And you can see some changes already. Definitely some yellow coming up, which means we've got fluoride and organic matter present. And some white at the top, which means there's lead, zinc, mercury and inorganic. And looks now we've got a slight change to maybe red, and that means there's iron and rust detected. Next we are testing Aldi Still. We're testing Aldi Still Water Aquavale against the distilled water. So that's Aldi's own brand. Looks like we've got a colour change, and it's green, which means there's arsenic, mercury, lead and copper present. We've got some white also, which indicates lead, zinc, mercury and inorganic matter. On our next test, we're doing tap water and we're mixing that with Himalayan salt against the distilled water.
One.
So here are all the results from our test. And as you can oh God, no, George Charles again. I've got all back to front. Sorry. So here are the results from our water test. You can do this at home if you would like to see the same results with an electrolyser. It appears the distilled water is the clearest.